So one of the big requests we've had here at MeMakeMonster.com at our headquarters, which is like this cool castle that's on a cliffside overlooking the ocean, with like 700 employees going crazy making body parts and cool stuff. It's not like some guy on a laptop or anything. Is we've had people write in and say, how do I make a mummy with Me Make Monster? And we're going to go through that today because the mummy is one of the trickier monsters, and the good thing is we can call it the mummy because nobody in ancient Egypt knew about copyright law. So we start here as we do every time with Me Make Monster. We get a random monster. Every part is different and just comes up just by chance. So we've got this purple tentacle creature kind of thing with the wolf nose, the fangs, the hair. It looks kind of like a Beatles 1963 era. He's got the bolts and some kind of weird spidery tentacles in the back. We don't need any of that. In fact, that's why we started here, just to show you how different we can make it. So where do you want to start? You can start anywhere you want, on any body part you want. I am going to start with the color because that makes things easy for me. And the color I'm going to pick is this thing, we can call it white. It's really like a light gray. And there it comes up, and right off the bat, you're thinking mummy, right? No, maybe not really, but we do see here, we've got this flecky gray pattern here, and that's the skin. You might call it the texture if you're a little more of an adult or something, or you read dictionaries for a living. And the biggest trick, I'm going to save that. We're not going to hit the skin first because that's really what's going to make it a mummy. Let's start with a head. We're going to pick, now if you look through, we hit the next button here. That's the thing with the two arrowy things on the left or the right, back next. We're going to pick a head that's kind of mummy-like. There's a couple heads you really could use. I'm going to pick this one, which we also sometimes use for a vampire. And the first thing I'll do is I'll turn the hair off, right? So we got this head that's kind of like an upside down triangle, curvy kind of thing. I'm going to make it a little bigger so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to do that with the plus button. And now we have a nice big head, and I'm going to start adjusting the features on the head. The first one are the brows, and right there, I think I like these brows. They're kind of mummy-like. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. And we're going to move them down a little bit, and the eyes. Now the mummy, no, I don't think that would work for the mummy very well, do you? One big cyclopean eye in the middle? No, no, no. I'm going to go, and then we got the eyes that we use for the creature in another video, which you should check out, and that works for devils and werewolves, but and that's like good for muck monsters, which is the way we don't say creature from the Black Lagoon, and that's the alien. I think we're going to go with this one. These are the rolling eyes, like looking up, like demon, and the nose. Well, that's the trick, isn't it? Because mummies, typically you don't see a nose. Maybe you want to do maybe that kind of thing, like a mummy, where maybe the nostrils are peeking out from under the wrappers, or maybe that, well, that wouldn't work, would it? Or that one, no, maybe not that one or either. But that could work. It could look like the wrinkles. But I think we're just going to go with no nose at all. So we hit the back button, and there we have no nose. Mouth, and that's another interesting one. I'm going to move it up with the up arrow key, and it's kind of big, so I'm going to shrink, 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 shrink. But we do have here a kind of vampire mouth, but you can do whatever you want, couldn't you? And this one might work too. It's got little tiny fangs. Yes, it might work for the muck monster, but let's keep looking. Now that's the one we've used for the creature, and that's more of a werewolf. And there we have the devil. I like that one. That's a nice, it's kind of fangy. It's got the two little fangs but some teeth. And you know what? I changed my mind on the eyes, and you can change your mind anytime you want to and change anything you want to. And I'm going to go with these big bulgy eyes, but I'm going to move the brows down a little, and maybe even more, and move the eyes down a little with the arrow keys, and then you start to get this this mummy look here in the eyes. And I think I want to move the mouth down a little more. I'm kind of picky about that. Ears, there are bolts, there's the gills, there's the antennae. It's not very mummy-like. The wolf ears, no dice. And then we got the plain old ears and the no ears, which might work best. And I'm going to move the mouth down a little more. I think that's looking kind of mummy-like. And then we're going to go to the arms. Next. Let's go for the nice skinny arms. And he's kind of like making a strange shape there. And with the body, that body could work. But let's see what else we have. We have that body and that nice slim, slender mummies. There were no overweight mummies because in Egypt, they didn't have candy. And then the legs, we're going to go for, again, the skinny legs. That's just the way I like my mummies, what can I say? And I'm going to move up here, and we're going to, oh, look at it, all fits together. Arrow keys, so we got the buttons here, back and next, to pick your part. You got the plus and minus, which is bigger and smaller, or littler, and that makes it bigger or smaller, of course. and you can move it up or down with these, and it all seems to fit together nicely. Now the extra, that's these tentacles back here. I'm going to get rid of that. You just keep going through until nothing comes up, and he might look a little like a mummy now, don't you think? But there's one big change we need to make, and that's the skin, because the mummy, he has a certain pattern, doesn't he? And it's not the scales, and it's not the fur, and it's not the flecky skin, the grit. But that's it, isn't it? It's the wrapping all around him. That's what makes a mummy a mummy. You know, ask anyone. Ask anyone Egyptian, especially. If you know anyone, that would be cool. And, you know, don't forget you could turn the hair on. Sure, you could have a vampire head mummy if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you could. And then you could also turn the clothes on. And he's not really, he's like a mummy. He's going out on the town. You know, maybe he's going to see Les Mis or something. But I'm going to keep my mummy traditional, thank you. And all we need to do now is give him a name. And we're gonna name him. Sometimes I try to trick the name. I'll like flip it and I'll say like yummy mommy. That's kind of corny. Maybe I'll just erase that, highlight it, and erase it, and we'll name him Horace Johnson. That's a mummy's name. And then what you do is you hit the save monster button, then you wait and you start to think, what am I going to put my mummy on that I can have printed by Zazzle and shipped to me? And you wait right here, you wait for that bar to go across, and your mouth is watering, and then you're like, oh, Horace Johnson's going to be on my favorite mug. And look at that, it's almost there. You're getting all excited, and then you hit the mug button when it comes up, you know, right, and it loads up a Zazzle.com site, which is the company that actually makes the products. And it says adding your monster again. You got a little progress bar, and look right there. You got the Horace Johnson mummy mug. I'm gonna do a little trick. Don't tell too many people about this, but I'm going to increase the size using this plus over here. I'm going to make sure my monster is just as big as possible, and I'm going to move him down a little bit and go back to this product view, which shows me my mummy on my mug. We can even enlarge it right here. It's going to be this big. Oh, look at that. I can't wait to get this. I'm going to drink. I'm going to put all kinds of stuff in here, probably a little bit of tennis leaves. That's a mummy joke for you. And you know, you can even pick a different bug type. You can pick well, black is very always goes with any monster ensemble. So there you go. And then you would hit the add to cart button if you're a child. That means if you're under 18 in America or other countries, sometimes 16 maybe, you hit add to cart, and then you pay by credit card, and then it comes to your house a few days later, and you're drinking your cool juice out of your Horace Johnson mummy mug. There you go.